Well, hey there, crypto friends. Thanks again for joining me. Today we have some special guests on the channel. Please help me welcome Rob and Josh from Cornucopias. What's going on, guys?
Hey,
Hello
thanks for
there.
having us, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Wanted to talk with you guys about your new metaverse that you're getting ready to launch here. That you're in the kind of early stages, and it's got some really interesting aspects, and I think some things that a lot of people are really going to enjoy, in particular with the explosion of the idea of the metaverse and people being very interested in it lately. I've been covering this stuff for years, but finally people are really starting to wake up. So why don't we just start off a little bit by telling me about you guys and how you came together and this idea for Cornucopias came about?
Sure, yeah. I met Rob through a show I had going called Cardano Chats, and we were interviewing projects that are building in the Cardano ecosystem. And had Rob on to do an interview. We got to talking afterwards, and he started telling me about this project he was working on. The whole reason that I had even reached out to Rob in the first place was I had actually seen Charles Hoskinson in a video talking about one of these really amazing projects that he said we really need that in the Cardano space.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a note of it and reached out to Rob as a result of that, because it turns out he was talking about Rob and something he was working on, because Rob's one of the very early developers in the Cardano ecosystem. And that project was built for the Catalyst, which is the internal funding mechanism on Cardano for ecosystem type dApps. So Rob has actually successfully built and delivered one of the first Catalyst projects, which is pretty awesome. But that's how we got introduced. And from there, we really kind of took off like a rocket ship. It was like, all right, do we believe in this? Are we ready to go with this? And we ran with it. And very shortly after I gave up, we're self-funded at that point, entirely self-funded. And very shortly afterwards, I decided to dive into it full time. So did Rob. And leave our existing income. So we risked just about everything to dive in.
A little scary, right? I mean,
yeah.
But I think it's it's a great move, personally.
Totally. It's scary, it's exciting, and but yeah, it timing wise, everything has gone really well. We've had a lot of very positive sentiment, and so people are really appreciating a lot of this custom art that we're putting out, and a lot of the we've been sharing real game content that has been built. And so if you looked at any of the bubble concept that we had recently, we recently launched a bubble video. So we've got these different bubble metaverses and personal islands and some amazing stuff that we're putting out. That's entirely custom built artwork. But Rob actually, people were so impressed with what we'd put out there. They're like, well, yeah, but this is clearly just for the cinematic effect. You don't really have anything in game. And so we were like, well, nope, we need to show the community with a demo that this is real. And so what we did is an AMA, and Rob ran around the personal island that we had built with his character and actually demoed that happening, which is pretty exciting. So anyway, yeah, Rob, did you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So I've been coding really since I was at school earlier from there, and then I got into crypto about 2017, like most people, in November, just as it was about to take off, and we were all about to invest our life savings and then lose it all, like literally 2 months later.
Yeah.
But I really got captivated within the space, and I've worked developing and contracting and building and my own software house since the year 2000. I've built software, I've sold companies, and then over the last 10-15 years in contracting, I've worked at building up teams, development teams within various different industries. And once I applied to be part of the Cardano chain, because that was one of the early coins that I was invested in. And they were actually reaching out, looking to start this project Catalyst. So I got involved with that in August 2020. I was one of the first 50 people that were asked to join this, which is the Catalyst is a grant system where you build open source software on the blockchain. And you submit proposals, and the community all vote on them. And if you're fortunate to get to win that grant, then you're able to build that open source technology. So once I learned how to develop on the blockchain, I knew that I wanted to work on blockchain full time. So from January of this year, I was looking at all these various projects like Axie Infinity, the Sandbox, Decentraland, building some prototypes. I outsourced a bit of software abroad. I was building some of the stuff myself. And over the years, as I've built up the various companies, I've always had this missing component of I know how to build teams, I know how to build software, I know how to design, plan, and do everything like that. But what I've not been able to successfully really do is actually sell and promote them. So when I met Josh back in, I think it must have been June, because I handed my notice in June. So maybe it was May or June when I met Josh.
Late May, early June, yeah.
Yeah, I knew instantly that, you know, we've got a really good chance of the game that I've been kind of planning in my head to bring it to market. And then since then, there was 4 founders, Josh's business partner, my business partner. We funded everything, and we've now built up a team of 12 people. We're looking at expanding that further. We have contractors with us as well. So in total, there's about 20 different people working on this project at the moment. And we received really, really little funding at the moment, but the idea that we have is absolutely massive.
Yeah. So let's talk about Cornucopias and, you know, a little bit about what makes this metaverse special, and why is it something that people should be paying attention to, and kind of a little bit of just how it works.
Yeah, well, I think it's special because I think it's one of the first metaverses that has the idea of the metaverse in mind. So we are looking at creating innovative software that is cross-chain, but also really smart NFT based. So we're looking at not only building our own project, but also bringing in other projects as well. So for on our character, for example, we have the ability to put badges and backpacks, and those badges and backpacks will be able to display NFT from other projects that are nothing to do with our projects, but not only just NFT projects that are on the Cardano network, but on Ethereum and on other blockchain projects as well. We're also looking at, I say looking, you know, we're heavily into the research and starting to build some of this out. We're looking at creating smart NFTs. So at the moment, when you have an NFT, everything you have is minted at that point in time, all the metadata and everything. So you have, let's say, for example, you have a house. Well, traditionally in a game, that wouldn't happen. You would have a house that you would then level up, or your character would level up, or other parts of the game would level up. Now, if we were to build the model around current NFT technologies, then every time you were saving a game or you were upgrading something, you would have to remint a new NFT and swap them. So we are introducing smart NFTs where you only have to mint once, and from then on they will evolve over time. So if we're looking at selling, for example, 2 fishes, you know, a male and a female fish, so after 3 months you could then have 3 fish or 4 fish or 5 fish part of the same family. And so that NFT will automatically be growing because it knows when the mint date was, it knows the passage of time that's passing. But at the same time, that NFT, the image that's held within the NFT will change, and also some of the metadata that goes in. So the game knows now it's got 4 fish this week, or next month it's got 5, and then 6, and then 7. So that's just an example of how we're expanding across blockchains, but also expanding the utility of NFTs and bringing in other projects. So we're really thinking and building like a metaverse, I think, should be thinking and building.
Yeah, so definitely putting in some of the ground floor work here to make something that you know, is a little bit more long-term focused and, you know, forward thinking, right? Because you're right. I mean, having dynamic NFTs like that is incredibly important for a lot of these games and aspects of it where you want things to be able to level up, get experience, not just be static. You know, I think that when you're talking about a metaverse, that is a very big part of the concept. You know, not everything is just a static. I mean, there's going to be static things, right? But not everything is going to be like that. And having that base technology is pretty important. So, paint us this picture of cornucopias. Like what, like if you were going to give everybody a pitch of this, like here's what, what makes it fun. Here's what's cool about it, what it's really about. Like, lay that on us. I want to know exactly what it would be like jumping into this metaverse.
I think one of the most exciting things about it for me is thinking through the fact that we have this variety of zones that are going to be in play. One would be a medieval themed zone. One would be the Wild West. One would be the Age of the Samurai. And so that we've got these different zones that somebody can go and experience different things within them. And they're going to have tasks that they have to accomplish to level up and to earn as well. And so that element of it adds so much variety. We're also going to have the urban adventure, which is going to have real world businesses in there. For example, there could be an NFT alley where you walk through this alley, or an NFT mall, and you have tons of different NFT vendors there, and you can literally walk into their shop and it's set up however they want it, and you can experience their NFTs and buy their NFTs right there and then. And then there would be other real world businesses, for example, an arena that might want to have a concert. I mean, like, people are actually doing that in the metaverse already. This is being done, proven, and it's working well. So you could have a concert that's sponsored by Ticketmaster or something like that in one of these venues, whatever it may be. So there's some exciting tie-ins with the real world that will occur with partnerships, with very well thought out strategic partnerships, and with the purchase of certain land pieces where we have this custom ability that can occur. So a lot of that is very exciting. But in addition to that, in this metaverse, we've created and introduced the bubble concept, which I alluded to earlier. And if we can send you the video on that, we can send you some screenshots, something that you could share in this when you go live with this. But the bubble, just to give it some context, is, and Rob talked about the fish as well. There's imagine a semi-translucent bubble, if you're looking at it from the exterior, and inside it, you see a bunch of water, and then some fish and some underwater structures are below it. And then above that is somebody's island that they get to personally build up by going into the land and working and completing their daily tasks and doing so we're creating a real amount of demand to go into these lands and do work. So we're driving traffic because everybody's going to get these bubbles for free. You just get it with 2 trees and a hammock to start off, maybe a little bit more, but like it's
2 trees
really
and a hammock,
basic.
man.
Yeah,
hey, that's a good starting place. You got a little place to swing and hang out. So I'll take that.
Man. I mean, to me, that sounds ideal right now with a stressful schedule we got going.
So these land bubbles are basically the entry to the game as an individual. So you're coming into the game brand new, you get your own land bubble, and is that represented by an NFT as well?
Yes, it is.
So yes and no. So the game, I think, is split up into 3 different sections. You have your personal bubble, which is where you stand, where you start, which is your island, and as you level up your island or build on the island, you can then sell that to other players. And in doing that, you will then mint that as an NFT to sell it on. But to begin with, it's not an NFT, it's just your own personal bubble. So this way we can, performance-wise, it makes it really great for us to build, because we're building on the Unreal 5 engine. But it also means we can start off with absolutely millions and millions of players. Everybody's is doing their home bubble thing.
I think the main thing to drive home there, though, is that your personal bubble, as you build it up, it does become an NFT that you can sell.
Yeah, so you have to build it up first. It's not like, you're not gonna have people come in and they're like selling their bubble with just a hammock and 2 trees. It doesn't make sense because everybody gets that already, right? Yeah. So you're gonna want to come in, and that's kind of I'm going to assume part of the play to earn aspect of the game is that you're coming in, you're playing, you're going to build up your personal bubble, and then maybe you get it up to like the best one, and then you sell it at you transform it into an NFT, and then you're able to sell it, and that's a particular good way to actually earn through the game.
Absolutely, yeah. And then you can start again with 2 trees and a hammock.
One thing that we do, I do want to make sure to make a little announcement here. Sorry, Rob, to interrupt you there, but the exciting thing that we have just come off of a team call from is that we are going to do a bubble sale soon. So that's pretty exciting. And it will be just the upgraded version of that free bubble that you get.
Okay.
So it's just you're buying the opportunity for a little bit more bling, a little bit more fun. It might be a themed bubble, something like that. We'll be doing those here, and those will be in the form of NFTs. That'll be coming up here in about a week, 2 weeks.
So that'll be your first initial NFT sale where you have these custom bubbles that it's like, hey, if you want to come baller status into Cornucopias, then, you know, instead of just going with 2 trees and a hammock, maybe you're getting you know, mini castle or something you can start off with, or something like that. I think that sounds actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And that part of it is we call the build to earn side. So you're going off to the different zones. So like I say, we've got a Wild West, we have the Samurai Zone. I think one of the zones that I think you'd be quite interested in as well is we're going to have a pirate zone.
Yes,
and I know you like pirates.
I love pirates, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was just talking about it today, actually. It's funny.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a pirate zone, and each of the different zones will have different objects that you can do your daily task, your daily play to earn, and then you can gather different materials. So you'll be able to have different colored sand from different areas. You might have dark sand or black sand in another up and coming, really exciting, not announced zone yet. And then so you have your home bubble, you have your work bubble where you go and do your daily play to earn, and then you can go off to the city in the evening, and that's where you can do all your different entertainment and watch a show or go to a cinema or an art gallery, or just hang out with your friends, and you can invite friends over to your bubble as well. There's so much going on.
Mm-hmm. Now, okay, so outside of the you know, build to earn, I like that term, build to earn aspect there. Are there other opportunities and ways to earn in this game that do not revolve around the actual building of your personal bubble?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a play to earn feature, which I'll let Rob talk a little bit more about, but there's also a learn to earn, where there will be, using this bubble concept, we will have a learning island where there's a variety of things that you can explore within this space. And for example, we already have a partnership that's being announced this week. It's actually been announced before, but like officially press release announcement with the European Business University. And that is basically like, they have a very forward-thinking president. James Muley is his name, and which is great. He's a wonderful guy, and they're doing some amazing things, but they're thinking in a forward direction. So they're looking at blockchain, crypto type education, as well as traditional business type education. They also have a large amount of scholarships that they get to pass out. So one thing that, and they're launching a token soon as well. And so one thing that they're going to do, and that we're going to work out within their castle, because they have a real castle in where they're located, which is their facility, but they're also going to have a castle within their land. And this castle, you walk into it and there might be scholarship opportunities that somebody could find for a real world education just by going to this island. And he might offer incentives in the form of his token or whatever, where you can actually earn by going and getting an education. So some really exciting stuff in that regard.
Okay, so ways to earn with partners and stuff like that. So, Rob, what was the other aspects of the play to earn that you guys have?
Yeah, okay. So obviously, when you start the game, everybody starts off with the home bubble, and you go down to the various zones to do the play to earn aspect of it. But going down to the various zones, each zone will have different forms. It will have different villages, and in the villages, you'll be able to own land in those villages. And outside the villages, there are farms or ranches. Now, if you're a landowner with our game, that actually unlocks quite a lot of extra gameplay for you. To begin with, it means that you will unlock a higher potential of play to earn. So you'll be able to earn a higher rating. If you're part of a village, you're part of a community. So as you're not naturally just playing the game, your village is leveling up before your eyes. So you're doing your play to earn, and you're earning XP, and you go away from the game for a couple of days. You come back suddenly where you had a bit of a well in the middle of that village. You've now got this huge well because all the players are all working together to build it up. We will then have village against village competitions every season, and therefore you'll again be able to earn additional play to earn. And then the whole concept of the village is actually encapsulated in, if we call it a guild. So if for guild owners, they can come in and actually purchase the majority of the houses, or individual people can come together and form their own guilds. And then the whole guild interface at the moment, I've studied this quite hard, and we've spoken to a number of guilds, and they find it's in guilds on the blockchain is quite administrative. So you're forever creating accounts, and you're changing passwords and giving it to other people, and then chasing them because they're not earning the level where they should be at. So we're going to take care of all of that within a really simple to use interface, where you'll have one guild member. He'll be able to look after all his properties, and the game will prompt to say, look, you're not reaching the target that you should be earning. So we're going to have a really nice interface that's built into the core game to look after guilds.
Very cool. I love that. I'm a big fan of running my own guild. So, that kind of management is definitely very helpful when it comes to, corralling a bunch of crazy cats who are in and out of a game like this. So now this kind of all leads us back around to, there's going to be a token here for this game here eventually as well, right? So you guys are going to be launching your own token in addition to, a little bit after doing these land sales that you're initially going to be doing. Tell us a little bit about that before we go, because I think that'll be one of the, strong points of this game too, having a tokenized economy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're launching a token. The utility will be for governance of the game, and you'll get voting rights with directions that we take, etc., which is pretty awesome. And then it'll also be used for in-game fees and things like that, and buying in-game items, etc. And that's going to be called the COPI token, COPI. And we're doing a launch we're targeting first week of December. So that's the current plan. And we've had, there's been a lot of complications around that, just because, we're very early stage pioneer. Well, like mentioned, Rob's, a pioneer developer within the Cardano ecosystem. So we're very, we really love the Cardano project. However, there are some things in the ecosystem that were really needed by us that we don't have at the moment. So we'll be launching NFTs on Cardano, and we'll also be launching the token and NFTs on an ERC20 project. Okay. So there will be, and again, we've always said that we're blockchain agnostic. We really wanted to start off fully on Cardano. However, this is not much of a big switch. We're still going to be selling Cardano-based NFTs.
All right, before we go, is there any last little things you guys want to let the audience know, things that they should know before we go?
Well, we're going to have a variety of some pretty exciting sales coming up in terms of, I already announced the first bubble sale that's coming up in a couple of weeks. That's going to be followed by a few other ones that are exciting in terms of some in-game NFTs that can be purchased. And so we're going to be rolling out with quite a bit. And keep your eyes peeled for November 26th is the target date for the launch of our next, very really encompassing video of a lot of the work that's already been done and a lot of the new stuff that's being brought into our ecosystem, entirely custom artwork. And this video will be pretty powerful. We are incredibly excited about it. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me here. I'm definitely looking forward to watching that video and looking at those land bubble sales that are coming soon. We'll have the links in the description for you guys there below if you want to check out Cornucopias, jump into their website, get all the information, and onto their social media. That's all we have for today, folks. Until next time, stash that crypto, friends.